Buenos días, estudiantes. Well, today we're going to be looking at possessive adjectives. Woohoo! Okay, let's remember that. Possessive adjectives answer basically two questions. I'm sure there's more, but we're going to look at two of them. The first one is going to be, to whom does something belong? These are going to show possession, like my purse, my dog, my house, his dog, his wallet, his canoe. And the other one would be, what's the relationship between people? So like his dad, her doctor, their dentist, their kids. Those are the questions that we're going to be looking at. And these are what the possessive adjectives answer. Okay? So here's my would be your possessive adjective here. For my dog, the dog belongs to me. And over here, his dad kind of belongs to me, or anyway, it shows the relationship that he is actually my dad and not yours. Okay, so his is a possessive adjective, and so is mine. Okay, so let's look at these little guys in Spanish. Change to a different color. Okay, so well, first of all, you're going to see that there is a single form for all of these, and then you can also add an S to make it plural. Okay, so let's look at these. My is going to be me or mis. Okay, your familiar is going to be tu or tus. That's all one word. His, now this is where it gets a little fun. His, her, and yours all share the same one. It's either going to be su if it's singular or sus if it's plural. Okay, so let's keep going. Actually, I want to skip over here to their and your alls, okay? So to say theirs, like, actually, you know what? It's not supposed to be there. It's supposed to be just, get rid of that. It's supposed to be just their, not theirs. So if I want to say their house or their boats or their cotton fields, if I want to say your all's cotton fields, your all's, I don't know, apples, you're going to use su, okay? And if you want to make it plural, it's going to be sus. Now, I know these match from here to here, but we're going to talk about that on their own page, okay? Now let's go back up here to our. So if I want to say our banana, our chocolate cake, our school, our airplanes, I'm going to be using either nuestro, nuestra, or their plurals. Now, our is the only one, excuse me, that actually needs to match in gender as well as number. Okay, so this is the only one you have to be careful about with gender. So if I was going to say our dog, it would be nuestro perro. If I was going to say our house, it would be nuestra casa. It has to be feminine, feminine. Okay, so let's keep going. Now, let's talk about placement and use. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so possessive adjectives, the ones that we just went over, they always come before the noun that they're describing or the noun that you're talking about. So if I'm talking about my dog, my is talking about my dog, okay? It has to come before dog in Spanish, just like it does in English, okay? Also, they have to match in number and in gender in the case of nosotros, okay? So typically it's just in number with the noun that it's following. So if I'm talking about multiple things that I own, then my me has to be plural, to mis, okay? If I'm talking about only a single item that I own, it would just be me. Like, my houses would be mis casas, but my house would just be mi casa, okay? So if the item that you own is plural, then you make your possessive adjective plural. Okay, so let's look at some examples. My cat is singular, so you're just going to go with mi gato. If I want to say my cats, which is plural, see with the S, then this has to be plural. Okay, the cats dictates that the possessive adjective has to be plural. Okay, now look at another example. Your house, this is you, familiar, would be tu casa. If it was multiple houses, it would have to be tus casas. Okay? Alright, very easy. Alright, now, the one that you just have to be a little careful about, but it's not hard, is just nosotros. Just make sure that it matches in number as well as in gender, masculine, feminine. So our house would be, since house is feminine, it's going to be nuestra casa. Our houses, since it's plural, would be nuestras casas. And I should have put a masculine example in here. So let's do our car. Okay. Now, since car is masculine, it's going to be nuestro coche. Okay. And if it was our cars, it would be nuestros coches. Okay. So since this is masculine, nuestro has to be masculine. Since casa is feminine, nuestro has to be nuestra, feminine. Okay, let's move on. Alright, now I told you that Sue and Sus were going to have their own page because it's a little bit confusing, but you're going to get the hang of it. The reason it's confusing is because Sue and Sus share many meanings. Okay, these are, I think, all the meanings I could think of that they share. Either his, her, your, their, your, alls. Okay, is that confusing? Just a little bit. So if I said su casa, what in the world do I mean? Does that mean his house, her house, their house? Do we know? We don't know. It's totally ambiguous. We're totally confused. We're lost. We need help. So, what can we do? Well, your day phrase right here is to the rescue. Okay, to make it more clear, we're going to use a day phrase. And a day phrase is just going to consist of the word day, meaning of, plus a noun or a pronoun. Okay, so it's either going to be of him, of her, or of Sally, or of Mark. Okay, we're going to show possession using a day instead of Sue. So, let's look at his house. His house can be, let's look down here first, su casa. Okay, that's totally grammatically correct. Su casa is his house, but it could also be her house, their house, y'all's house. You get the picture. So to make it more clear, if we need to make it more clear, you can just say this, the house of him. Okay, so it's la casa de él. So literally, you're just saying, I just said it, the house of him. So let me write that. The house, let me draw a house of him. Okay, that's what you're literally saying. That's my house. It's kind of cute. There's some smoke. Okay. Alright, let's look at her houses. Okay, first let's look at the confusing one. Sus casas. That's a totally legitimate way to say her houses. Okay, but it is confusing. So to be super clear, we're going to say the houses of her, which would be las casas de ella. Okay, and that's super duper clear. Okay, so let's move on. Now, just for a few examples, we're almost finished. You're doing great. My car is green. It is going to be, since car is singular, you just need the singular form of my, so it's going to be mi coche es verde. Mi coche es verde. Now, with our, remember, it needs to agree in gender and in number. So I'm talking about our cows. Cows are feminine and they're plural. So when I'm looking at nuestro, I have to use the nuestras form of it because it has to match vacas. Okay, that's cows. Our cows stink. Nuestras vacas no huelen bien. I hope that's not true at your house. Okay, last one. Their books are expensive. Okay, books are plural, and they're right there. So the confusing way to say their books would be, well, not confusing. This is still very, I would not count this wrong by any means. Sus libros, okay, since libros is plural, their